Alright, so today I have Miss Teaira Curry, aka Coach T. I met Coach T from Clubhouse, the app, and I'm grateful to have met her. Before we start, I would like to tell you, Miss Curry, thank you for coming on my show, and I would also like to give a shout out to Miss Aisha from California on donating my first hoodie to my channel. This hoodie is called Boss, and she has Savage 2021 on the side. And yeah, Miss Aisha, I want to tell you thank you so much for donating this hoodie. I appreciate it. So yeah, Miss T, I would like to tell you thank you for coming on my show, and can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Teaira Curry. I go by Coach T. I am a wife, a mother, a a podcast host. I'm a speaker, a life coach, anti-rape activist, and an author. If I didn't say that already, so pretty much everything I do, it just stands on the grounds of perseverance. All roads lead to perseverance and inspiration.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. My first question for you is, okay, where can people find you at?
So if you go to my website, it's cu-nw.com. And that stands for changed up now what .com. So that's pretty much where you can find me. And then of course just putting in my first and last name on Facebook and Instagram, Teaira Teaira Curry Curry.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. What is your podcast called?
My podcast is called Changed Up Now What.
Yes, ma'am. And that's on your website?
Yes, that's definitely on my website. So once you go to cu-nw.com and you'll click on the podcast tab and then tune in, and that'll take you straight to all the platforms. And of course, you guys know you can check it out on like Spotify and Apple and Google, Alexa. So it's on every major platform, but you can access it from my website too.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. My next question for you is, how is your podcast? Is it live, or can you rewatch it if you miss it that day?
Oh yeah, if you miss it, you can definitely go to my page and play it. You could do the replay if you would like. It's audio only, so there's no visual. But yeah, no doubt, you just come back when when you have time and come on and take a listen.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. How often do you go live on your podcast? Do you have a set schedule?
hmm Every Monday morning at 8 a.m., a new podcast is released, and then in about I would say around March Aprilish, I'll be adding another podcast show, and that one will deal with relationships. So I'll make sure I let everybody know about that one a little bit later.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. My next question for you is, all right, so what can people expect whenever they go to your podcast at 8 o'clock in the morning on every Monday?
So 8 o'clock in the morning, man, I wanted to catch the people that's on commute. And whether you're taking the kids to school, going to work, or just taking a nice little ride, what you can expect is just like the first couple hours of your day really needs to be filled with substance. So it's a good idea. You'll see the changes in your life when you get up and you actually feed yourself with that motivation, as opposed to just getting up and getting straight on social media, or I don't know, playing a game, whatever you do that's not adding value. So by the time you tune in at 8 o'clock, your mind, by listening to the podcast, it's already gearing you that, all right, we're gonna go out and we're gonna hit the pavement today. We're gonna walk it out. We're gonna work it out. No matter how tired I am, no matter how much I don't want to do it, because guess what? This person that I'm listening to, they were able to persevere and do it. So I know that I can too.
That's a great answer. My next question for you is, Okay, so you said come around March, April, you're gonna have another podcast where you talk about relationships.
Yes.
Um, what are some other plans that you have for the rest of this year?
Whew. Well, I have personal milestones and business milestones. So, which one would I share? Let me see. Um, on the business side, just really, I'm currently in marketing training. So, I really want to get that, down pat. And I am. I'm learning a lot of things. So, I think marketing is essential to any entrepreneur's business. So I want to do that, be able to apply that to my own, and then definitely teach my students and my clients. Because me, I'm the type of person that's good at marketing, like getting out there, like actually doing the footwork in person. But since COVID came along, of course, we all had to kind of change our tune a little bit and figure this thing out. So that's the biggest thing would be definitely the biggest milestone would be the marketing because I know that's going to open up so many more doors as to what I want to do. Getting more speaking gigs. I mean, I want to increase that, um, which I have been getting offered to speak a lot lately, which is awesome. But yeah, those are the two main things. On the personal side, just raising my family and finally going on vacation, even with all this craziness going on, taking my family somewhere where we can enjoy each other and change the scenery a little bit.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. My next question for you is what are your plans for the next 5 years and what are your plans for the next 10 years?
Mm-hmm. 5 and 10 years. Let me see. To never go back to the workforce and to really see my kids blossom. Those are my plans. So in that, one is more so like a setup for success and duration in that path that I want to go into, and then the other one is just making sure that my children, um, that we instill the knowledge inside of them that they need to become successful and productive in their life, because it's really what it's all about. So where I see myself in 5 to 10 years, man, working my own, but still just maxing and relaxing, having that freedom as a business owner, and and just maybe watching my kids at that point be in their own businesses and start their own stuff, so, having successful launches. So my whole perspective have changed. Like if you would have asked me that a few years back, I probably would have been like, man, I want to be a millionaire and I want to do this and that and this, which is good. But if you don't have certain things in place, you know, that ain't gonna happen. So just that's why we got to spend right now preparing for that, learning it, you know, getting mentors, learning from the people that are pioneers out there and just stand on our consistency. And so that will set you up for the millionaire status and the mansion and the car and the location you want.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. My next question for you is what is your message to the future generation of women?
The future generation of women, man, let me tell y'all, just keep pettiness out the way, keep competition out the way. I feel like as women, when we come together, we are a force to be reckoned with. We're more stronger together than apart. And then once you have overcome something, turn around and help somebody else. Help somebody else over that same bridge that you had to cross. Because just think about it. You may not have had someone to look up to or someone to, hold you by the hand and show you what to do. So remember those things that it was hard for you to get through, and then turn around and offer that service to somebody else.
That's a great answer. Um, my next question for you, Coach T, is what would you like to tell your future self 20 years from now?
You did it. Your great grandmother would be proud of you. You have inspired the masses. You have changed millions of lives. And most importantly, your family, your husband, and your kids. You have provided a lot of substance into their life. So, job well done.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. What would you like to tell your children 20 years from now?
Don't try not to make the same mistakes we made. Remember everything that we taught you and implement that. So, we me and your dad may not have always gotten it completely right, but we did the best that we knew how to do. And now it's up to you because now you guys would be starting families and starting down your careers and just living life as young adults. So that's what I would let them know.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. My next question for you is, what would you like to tell your husband 20 years from now?
I don't know, but whatever it is, it's gonna be on the beach somewhere. You know, because we spent a lot of time working, man. We spent a lot of time already working, and I know the work ain't even halfway done as to the legacy that we want to leave behind, and just some more other milestones we want. So, whatever is said, it's gonna be somewhere far away from everybody else. So, and that's that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Are there any shout outs that you would like to make to your friends or to your family?
Hmm. Um, I would like to definitely just thank God for putting me into this position. The growth, coming from the background that I've come from and the struggles that I've even recently, within the last few years, were able to overcome. So I want to just shout out God first of all, because without it, I wouldn't have had so much purpose as I have now. Um, of course, my husband and my kids, because that's my number one whys. Everybody who supported my movement since 2016. And that's even from the Facebook platform that had all of these people that was always watching, commenting, DMing me, letting me know how much an inspiration that my show is to them when I was on Facebook. So anybody that's ever bought a book, anybody that's ever pressed play, signed up for my coaching and paid for classes, any way that you supported, shout out to everybody that's been with us from day one, even through the turmoil and the drama that we went through. Just thank y'all so much for that. So
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. My next question for you is, what did your parents teach you as a child that you were trying to teach your children now?
how not to love, how not to love. To be honest with you, my parents weren't there, so um, I figured you could either just be sour about it and hold that on your back forever, or you can take that and you can be like, well, man, y'all may not have shown me what I should do, but y'all shown me what I shouldn't do. So yeah, that's definitely the answer to that. But um, my great grandmother stepped in and she was just letting me know to make sure that I love everybody, regardless of how I'm treated or whatever. I can hate people ways and their actions, but just make sure that you love everybody. And um, she was big on learning. She said, "Learn not to argue." Um, just being non-confrontational, man, just staying in my lane and focusing. So that's what she did.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. My next question for you is, what would you like people to know about you before they go to your social medias?
Just know that I'm a real person. I'm a real person that's been through some real things, and you never know what a person goes through. Sometimes the biggest hurt lies behind the biggest smile sometimes. So just know that I'm real. I'm non-judgmental. Um, you know, and I'm just an everyday person, and I'm gonna be that way all the time, no matter what I have or don't have. I remain consistent. So before you come to my page, just know that I'm a person who genuinely loves and cares for my followers, um and just as brothers and sisters, as I feel that we all are. So
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. My next question for you is, how do you feel women are represented in the world?
I think they're doing a pretty doggone good job. They stepping up, man. That's funny because on the last interview I was just on a minute ago, we was talking about that, like the women empowerment and stuff like that. So, um, some stuff is pretty cool. Like a lot of stuff, just the growth and the confidence that women have now. The women entrepreneurs, even women are speaking up more for themselves. So, man, they're doing. I believe that we're doing a great job.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. My last question for you, Miss T, is, what would you do if you were the president?
um, that's a good one, Tony. If I was president, first, I'm the most non-political person ever. But if I was the president, uh, I would bring a lot of logic and reasoning up into that White House and around the country because I'm an extremely logical person. Um, all those big fancy words they use in there would be broken down into layman's terms, and we would get down to the real facts. No fluff, none of that. You know, it'll just be broken down because I see some stuff that's just, to me, it just be made complicated for no reason. I would break it down. That's all.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. All right, so Miss Coach T, Coach Teaira, I would like to tell you thank you so much for coming on my show. It was an honor to have you. I would also like to say if you ever would like to come back on again, please let me know because I'm here to help any way I can. Y'all, please make sure y'all look in my description at her social medias and y'all find out where to find her right on Instagram and Facebook and her website. Thank you again, Coach T, so much for coming on my show.
So once again, it's been a pleasure being here with Tony in this beautiful interview. Again, I'm Coach T. My name is Teaira Curry. You can catch your girl at www.cu-nw.com for more inspiration on my side. Thanks.